I'm Dave Froehlich. Thanks for watching this CrimeWatch digital exclusive where we take a look back at recent crime stories that have been making headlines in our area and across the state. A 16-year-old is working to save money to buy a truck this school year after criminals stole the money he planned to use to buy the truck. He believes he was a victim of jugging. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has the story.
You don't ever think it's going to happen to you.
Be a victim of a crime. Timothy Jones's son, 16-year-old Bradley Jones, worked and saved up enough money to buy himself a truck. Not long after, someone crashed into it and totaled the truck. About a week and a half ago, the Joneses went to a bank in North Austin to pick up the money they received from their insurance. They withdrew $8,000.
As soon as I got the money from the teller, I put it in my front pocket.
They walked together out of the bank, got into their car, and decided to stop for coffee down the street.
Put the money in the glove box, locked the truck, went inside to get a cup of coffee.
About 5 minutes later,
They had smashed out my window. They opened the glove box and opened the console and took the money. They weren't interested in the $12,000 worth of Milwaukee tools I have in my back seat. They knew what they were looking for.
Jones says he believes the criminals followed them from the bank.
Do you wish you never stopped to get coffee?
No, because I think that if we wouldn't have stopped, they probably would have followed us and eventually gotten impatient. And I'm really just, excuse me, I'm glad that we're alive.
We all work for our money, and for somebody just to take it, you know what I mean? And it just feels so wrong.
Bradley says this means he won't have a truck to drive to school this year.
I have a bunch of emotions, angry, sad, mad, but it just happened.
Bradley says he's determined, though, to buy another truck.
I guess it will give me a little motivation to work on the bright side, you know, try to make my money back.
An Austin police detective told Jones they receive around 50,000 cases a year in the Criminal Investigation Division and try to work the cases that have leads and the others have to be suspended. Because this case doesn't have video evidence from the bank or the coffee shop, it has been suspended.
The branch manager told me they don't have any cameras outside because they don't own the building. And I've made repeated attempts to get in touch with the Wells Fargo security officer to find out what they're doing to try to protect customers from this type of thing of happening. And I haven't gotten anywhere. I just don't want this to happen to anyone else.
APD says be aware of your surroundings, don't leave money in your car, change your route after leaving the bank, and call 911 if you believe you're being followed. Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin, Crime Watch.
Austin police are looking for 6 men connected to a robbery in downtown Austin. APD says the group assaulted someone and stole their property. Happened on 6th Street between San Jacinto and Trinity. Police haven't provided any information on what was stolen from the victim or their current condition. If you have any information, you're asked to please call Austin Police. Newly released body camera video shows the situation that led to a San Marcos police officer shooting a 22-year-old man. Malachi Williams was killed in April. A Hays County grand jury recently declined to indict the officer who shot him in the back. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has more.
A grand jury decided this deadly shooting was justified. The family of Malachi Williams does not agree.
You gonna shoot me? No.
About 2 minutes later, on April 11th, 22-year-old Malachi Williams was shot dead by San Marcos police officer Alcides or Alex Ventura. About an hour earlier, police say Williams followed 2 people out of a convenience store, pulled out 2 knives, and threatened them.
They told police they feared for their lives.
The 2 people told police they were eventually able to get home and they called 911. Officer Ventura responded and spoke with the victims. He then left and searched the area to try to find Williams. Officer Ventura found Williams back at the same convenience store.
That because Officer Ventura was one of the original officers who contacted the 2 victims, he knew the suspect was armed with 2 knives, and he had already committed 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which is a felony.
Officer Ventura confronted him.
Put your hands behind your back.
I thought we were cool, bro.
Hey, put your hands behind your back.
The officer backs out of the store, continuing to say,
Put your hands behind your back, all right?
Williams takes off running. Officer Ventura deploys his taser as they reach Cheatham Street. It was unsuccessful. He then attempts a second taser discharge as they reach East Hawkins Street. Unsuccessful again.
The officer says that Mr. Williams arms himself as he reached the parking lot of Marco's Pizza, meaning the officer saw that he pulled out both knives and he put them in one hand, and he was running with the blades facing toward the pavement and still continuing to flee from the officer. At that point, the officer sees that the suspect is now armed, so the officer holsters his taser, pulls out his duty firearm,
and shoots Williams in the back in the parking lot of the H-E-B.
The knives were discarded after he was shot.
The officer's affidavit states he was worried the suspect was going to harm a civilian. Chief Standridge says the use of deadly force was warranted because Williams had the intent, capability, and opportunity to cause imminent threat of serious bodily injury or death to others.
In this case, we believe the suspect had the intent, as evidenced by 2 counts of previous aggravated assault within the last hour. We believe he had the capability because we've clearly shown you that he was armed. He had ample opportunity to throw those knives away. There were plenty of people that he could have caused harm to.
A grand jury declined to indict Officer Ventura, and he's cleared of any prosecution. Williams' family says that isn't right.
We cannot continue to let our citizens be murdered and the person that murders them go free.
Miller says they'll continue to fight for justice.
And I'm praying to God every day that he give me strength and the direction to do the right thing, that the right thing happens.
The officer who shot Williams is back on patrol. Reporting in San Marcos, Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
City of Austin Activity Center says burglars stole a large number of bicycles. Happened early in the morning on August 18th at the Camacho Activity Center in East Austin. The Austin Parks and Rec Department runs the facility, uses the bikes for many children's programs. The Activity Center is asking for neighbors to check their security cameras for a possible trailer filled with bicycles. May have been driving around the neighborhood between 4 and 5 in the morning. If you know anything, again, please report it to 311. Wilbert Vasquez Lopez was shot and killed in South Austin almost 2 years ago, and the teen's family is pleading for answers. Travis County Sheriff's Office is looking for 2 suspects and could use the public's help. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has more.
It's been 2 years, but it still hurts.
It was Friday night, August 19th, 2022, the night before Wilbert, or Willie Vasquez Lopez, was turning 18.
His brother was inside playing video games and Willie was on his front porch just listening to music.
20 minutes before midnight, a neighbor's security camera captured a car pull up near Vasquez Lopez's home on Menchaca Road. Detectives say 2 people got out and shot Vasquez Lopez on the front porch.
We interviewed several witnesses who reported seeing 2 males running to a dark-colored vehicle before it sped away.
Vasquez Lopez's younger brother called 911. When deputies arrived, they found Vasquez Lopez with his gun next to him, but detectives say it had not been fired. Vasquez Lopez was taken to the hospital. The Aikens High School senior died on his birthday.
He was always happy, and he had friends everywhere.
The Travis County Sheriff's Office is now asking for help finding the people responsible for this killing.
Descriptions of the males given were thin to medium build, anywhere from about 5'9" to 5'11", either white or Hispanic.
Vasquez Lopez's mother says she wants the suspects caught.
So it doesn't hurt anymore, so no one else feels the way we feel.
We need your help to give Willie's family that one step closer to justice.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch.
Austin police have identified 2 people killed in a triple shooting back in June. Officers went out to 911 calls on Pleasant Valley Road near East Riverside in southeast Austin on June 26th. People heard gunfire and screaming in the neighborhood. Officers found 3 shooting victims. 1 died at the scene, another at the hospital. The 3rd victim survived. 39-year-old Ricardo Martinez and 28-year-old Aldo Romero Milan are identified as the men who died. So far, no arrests have been made. Travis County judge has warned a murder victim's mother the suspect's case won't go through the court system quickly. The accused killer was arrested for multiple felonies while out on bond for murder. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has more.
This case is not going to go through the system quickly. That's what Travis County Judge Dana Blasey told the court Wednesday morning.
It actually made me want to cry. It's frustrating. Today was to hear that it hit something.
Julieta Serrano's son, 19-year-old Brian Serrano, was shot dead in southeast Austin on May 15, 2023. The suspected killer is Irvin Coronado Palacio. In December, he was able to bond out of the Travis County Jail. Late last month, Coronado Palacio was arrested again for trafficking a person and 2 counts of sexual assault of a child in Hays County.
Now with the new charges, it just creates a bigger mess.
In court Wednesday, it was revealed the Hays County Jail didn't have room for Coronado Palacio, so he was transferred to the Haskell County Jail in North Texas. The judge asked the prosecutor to request a bench warrant to get Coronado Palacio back to Travis County.
Sometimes other counties don't want to honor them. They believe that their charge is more serious, or they want it to be resolved first, because sometimes what will happen is if somebody's bench warranted, then they get lost in the system.
Serrano says he better not.
I do really pray that he gets brought back here soon so we can get things moving. He needs to do time for what he did. He took a life. His should be forfeited by the state because he took my son's life, so his should be taken by the state.
Coronado Palacio's new defense attorney says he plans to go see him soon. The next hearing date is set for October 1st. Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Austin police detectives have identified a suspect in a 1980 murder case with the help of DNA technology. 25-year-old Susan Lee Wolf was a University of Texas student when she was kidnapped a block from her home in East Austin. A witness watched a car roll by, someone bear hug Wolf and force her into a 1970 Dodge Polara. Her body was found the next day in an alley. She'd been shot in the head and there were signs of strangulation and sexual assault. DNA evidence linked 78-year-old Deck Brewer Jr. to the murder. He told detectives he'd been in the Austin and San Antonio areas in 1980. Brewer is now charged with the murder of Susan Lee Wolf. He's currently behind bars in Massachusetts on unrelated charges. The search for a killer in a 2018 murder case out of Bastrop County has expanded to Austin. Police believe a woman found dead in an abandoned home in South Austin may have been killed by the same man, but investigators still need help identifying that suspect. Fox 7 Austin's Lauren Rangel has more.
The body of Alba Janice Avalis was discovered by a passing motorist.
This is the vehicle police found Aviles in just off Old San Antonio Road in Bastrop County in 2018. She had left Club Caribe in Austin that same night. 6 years later,
the caller had stated they seen what appeared to be a deceased person at this location.
This June, police find the body of 34-year-old Alyssa Rivera in an abandoned home on Metcalf Road in South Austin, which is just 3 miles from the club Aviles was last seen at alive.
For it to have been so geographically tied is, pretty coincidental.
Police believe these 2 women never knew each other. Now their deaths might be what connects them.
Both victims are believed to have been sexually assaulted. There was DNA found at both scenes, like multiple sources of DNA at both scenes. But the same suspect links back in both cases.
Austin police say their suspect is not in its DNA database because he's never been arrested before.
Which Typically, people committing really violent murders have probably committed something similar to that in the past, or at least been arrested, and that does not appear to be the case in this case.
But they do have this video. Here, Rivera is walking with the suspect.
They could have known each other for some period of time. They could have met just that day, so that's still being explored.
Detectives say this is one of the last moments captured of Rivera alive, and they hope it's enough to help close both of these cases.
Anyone that knew either of these victims, by all means, anything that you may have seen, we don't know if the suspect frequents clubs. We have no idea. We know that there was a tie to it in the first murder, but in the second one, there's no evidence of that. So anybody with any information, even if it seemed trivial, if they knew either of these victims, but we asked them to call our homicide tip line.
An Austin man's been sentenced to a dozen years behind bars for stalking and child pornography. 41-year-old Cody Brownlow pleaded guilty in May and received his punishment at a St. Louis federal court. The investigation into Brownlow began back in 2022 after he sent threatening and vulgar phone messages to an ex-girlfriend and her adult daughter. Some of the messages included files containing child pornography. Two other ex-girlfriends and one of the women's new boyfriends said they experienced the same type of harassment. A May 2023 raid of Brownlow's Austin home resulted in the seizure of his electronics. On those devices, authorities found thousands of images of child sexual abuse and several videos. Lockhart police are investigating the city's first homicide of the year. Just before 3 in the morning on August 16th, police went out to a shots fired call at a home near Rosewood and Trinity. Once inside, officers found a gunshot victim identified as 20-year-old Carlos Sanchez. He was taken to a hospital in Kyle and died less than an hour later. Police say this was a targeted shooting. So far, no arrests have been made, but we're told a juvenile has been named as a person of interest. Lakeway police are asking for the public's help as they try to stop a serial vandal responsible for spray painting a series of racist and anti-Semitic images. The department released this video on Facebook. You can see a car pull up to the side of a parked truck in a residential neighborhood. The person got out on the driver's side door with a can of spray paint and appeared to mark the truck. While it's unclear what was painted, police say various vehicles and buildings in town have had swastikas, slurs, and other effigies painted on them. Cases have been sporadic, but have happened every month since March with no clear pattern of targeted drivers. If you have any information that could help police figure out who's doing this, you're asked to call the Lakeway Police Department and ask for Sergeant Roman Pena. Two burglars have been caught on camera breaking into an East Austin food park and stealing several items. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis spoke with the owner of several of the trucks that were hit. And we've chosen to blur the burglars' faces in this story until we receive confirmation about the suspects from Austin police.
Video shows two people early Monday at around 3 in the morning break into the Vegan Nom food park on Cesar Chavez Street.
They were pretty motivated robbers.
Ignoring the alarm system and cameras overhead.
They've actually deterred a lot of the robberies that could have happened. It's just this one occurrence.
The two pry open the doors to 3 food trucks, the Vegan Nom Burgers, and Ghoul Coffee Company, and take what they can find.
I feel disappointed that, a human would have to go to that level to survive, where they have to go and break into a small business to eat or drink or, do what they have to do to survive.
Chris Rios, the owner of the Vegan Nom Food Park, says they stole electronics, about $700, and damaged windows and doors.
Right now, we just need as much support as we can to where we can continue to move forward and, get through this time.
One barbecue breakfast taco.
A time they say has been tough recently.
Once it starts hitting 105 or 100 degrees, it's a lot more harder for folks to come and visit the food park. So when that's happening and morale's kind of a little bit low, then it's like, oh my God, what happened? I can't believe this. We just got hit hard. And just like Matt and some of us, we do suffer loss and damage, and it costs us money.
This isn't the first time they've been hit by burglars. Rio says since 2017, they've been broken into at least 20 times. He says in the past, APD responded quickly and even caught multiple people. This time is different.
This is the first time where I've just actually got a service number and haven't gotten a case number yet. Not sure what's going on with APD. I'm not complaining against it, but it's just one of those things that is alarming as a small business.
Rios says he has received support from the community after posting what happened on social media.
There's still hundreds of people out there that care, for every two. So I think that says a lot. That speaks volumes about what our community is about.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
Thanks for watching the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. Our Crime Watch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. If you miss them, you can watch anytime on our new Fox Local Connected TV app, which is free to download, and you can watch on multiple platforms like Roku and Apple TV. Just scroll down from the live player and look for the Crime Watch section. For more stories or more on the stories highlighted in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com, and don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel.